Folks, let me tell you something. We're in the absolute end game now. We're in the closing stages of this match, this game, as it were, that's happening with New Project 2 and the Cabal and Dax Herrera and his triad banks and his scammage and his ties to unsavory characters. We're nearing the end because Dax Herrera is starting to enter the deep waters. You see, Dax Herrera has never faced anything like what he's facing right now, ever in his life. You see, he might have had the lawsuit with Maddox and Jesse and people like Cameron Clark and people like Jamie Lee Hughes. All these people come after him and have tried to destroy his life. But they're all idiots, actually, and they're very ineffectual at what they do. And sure, the odd time they do manage to score a win here or a win there, or create a troll that's somewhat funny, but most of the time these guys don't know what the hell they're doing. They're total spurgs. They can't seem to operate anything properly. They're jealous of Dick or just fucking completely insane, or whatever. And so for those reasons, because they have such a personal vendetta against Dick, they constantly fail and lose. And so Dax might think he's prepared himself well and that, he's weathered all sorts of storms on the internet, that he knows what he's doing, that he's a security expert, that he's some sort of powerful, well-connected person that can't be fucked with, that he's rich and he has nothing to worry about in terms of any sort of liability or any sort of issues coming up. That's what Dax might believe, but as he started to wade out into the deeper water, as he exposed himself with the cleanup crew, and he started to face off against me, you quickly realize that Dax couldn't handle any sort of deep waters, because I'm not even that deep in the ocean out there of fucking monsters and beasts and villains, I'm just some, fat retarded guy there with a very modest channel that's not really anything special. And he couldn't handle it because it was somebody that didn't kiss his ass. He's not used to that anymore. He's not used to people heckling him, telling him no. He's not used to that, so he can't handle that treatment. And because of that, because of his soft skin and his soft mentality, he's not going to make it. And he doesn't know what he's doing. And just yesterday, you started to see just how out of his league Dax is. How absolutely, totally fucked he is when Dispatch showed up to his house. I don't think Dispatch is going to be the last person that shows up at Dick's house. I don't think that this is the last IRL interaction with trolls or crazy people that Dax is going to have. And that's just Dispatch, let alone Zoom, who's been involved in this since the beginning and is going to fucking destroy, it is currently and has been destroying Dax and his credibility at every single turn, undermining him and screwing him constantly. And Zoom and Dispatch are fucking one thing. They're fucking way more savvy than Dax will ever be when it comes to the internet, when it comes to gossip, when it comes to the hot goss, when it comes to, computer systems and security and all this stuff. And Dax just can't compete with that. And he's fucking with things that he doesn't understand, that he can't possibly understand. He's 40 years old, guys. He's 40 years old. He doesn't know what he's doing. He has no hope in hell of surviving the absolute shitstorm that's about to engulf him, that's about to envelop him. People like Dispatch showing up at his house, people like Zoom fucking with him, sending shit to him, messing with his family, messing with his friends, touching him in real life, messing up his businesses. But I mean, now it's got to the point where there's a real fucking operator that's entered the room, where you're dealing with Vordrak, with Sam, and he just doesn't fuck around. And he's a serious dude, and he has a serious issue, and he has a serious axe to grind. and he knows what he's doing. He has a lot of contacts. The guy was on council in his town. He was a fundraiser for labor. He was an organizer for labor. He was a fundraiser for labor for 4 years. If you're a fundraiser for 4 years and an organizer for 2 years, you gain a lot of connections, and now he's also gaining a lot of connections within the government, within the media. He's very well connected, and he does have a law degree, and he's somewhat eloquent if you let him speak and make his case. He makes a somewhat compelling case, at least to the uninitiated, and even to people who know a lot. He knows even more than them on issues like Josh, and on payment processors, and on Dax not being compliant with the law. And if it's true that he had Dax's bank cut off and Dax is now blacklisted for 5 years, that's the end of New Project 2. And if he continues to, it seems, be with Josh, this guy is going to hound him forever. But if Dax gets rid of Josh, he loses the Kiwi farms forever. So he's stuck between a rock and a hard place, and he's in deep waters. He doesn't even understand how Kiwi Farms works. He's zooming here saying the blacklist is 10 years. 5 years, 10 years, it doesn't matter. Tomorrow, I basically in 20 minutes, nobody's getting paid from New Project 2. Not one single person is getting paid. New Project 2 is dead. Nobody is getting paid on June 1st. People who are relying on that as a source of income for their bills are fucked. They're going to have to draw on lines of credit, and if those are already maxed out, they're totally fucked. And they're going to default on their bills or on their rent, and they're going to have issues. And if it doesn't come back up, they're not going to have any sort of income coming in at all. And if Dax Herrera hadn't been such a selfish piece of shit, cleaning it up to avoid embarrassment over some girlfriend who is a pill popper and a piece of shit anyway, this would have never happened to him. But he kept stepping and he kept stepping and he kept doubling down and doubling down. And now he's dealing with people that he can't reason with, that you can't understand. There are people who some of these people just want to see the world burn. Some of these people just want to destroy a particular individual with all their soul. And they just have a burning hatred in their heart. Stronger than a hatred I've probably had for anybody. And I have some hate for certain people. But, when it comes to Vordrak and Josh and his passion for that, I've never encountered anything like that. And, Leo and people are scared because of Vordrak and, the professional, posh, ruthless demeanor that he represents. Because he's an operator, and he will take care of people like Dax Herrera. He will take care of people like Josh. And, at this point for Josh, I don't even know what he's thinking. He's out $2,000 a month. Dax and Ethan Ralph are fucking throwing him under the bus, fucking him over. Vordrak's raking him over the coals, trying to destroy his life. I was trying to save Janny Juice from himself and fucking help him. But, it just can't be helped. Like, the events that he's set in motion, I can't stop. I can't stop these people. I can't reason with those people. They're not going to listen to me. I can't help him. What am I going to do? He's in so deep with all these various groups that all want him fucking dead or in prison or hurt bad. And Josh and Dax, they're on the wrong side of things. And if it is true, and it looks like there's some evidence to suggest that Dax has ties to organized crime, that he has ties to money laundering, that his money, that him and Ricada get in super chats, is laundered money. Because it looks suspicious when they get these $100 super chats that are all like one word or one sentence or the same sentence. It just seems like money is getting filtered through. And there's other things to suggest that as well. But, it's getting aside from the point. These people have no fucking clue what they're up against. They just don't get it. They don't get it. And the more they keep pushing and the more they keep doubling down, the more they're going to be crushed and wiped out utterly and completely, because there are forces that, you know, are just so fucking dark and so chaotic and just so desperate to see these guys get fucked. There's nothing they can do. A lot of these people have a high level of resources and people are getting invested in it. And it's not going to turn out well for them. And I just think that Dax is going to be exposed, if not criminally, at least civilly, to lawsuits. And I think Josh with Section 230, I mean, if that goes like the way Trump wants it to go, Kiwi Farms is done. It's done inside like a year. There will be no Kiwi Farms. There will be no more Josh. But the reality is, these are like the last dying breaths of like a Wild West internet. Because what's coming in the future, and what will be the ultimate end for every grifter and every person, including me, is that very soon in the future, you're going to be required to scan in your driver's license or your health card or your social security number, some form of government identification, in order to post anywhere online. And all your posts are going to be tied to your real name and your real identity. You're all going to have to give your docs. The government's going to require it. Everything's going to be sanitized and kept clean. And that's just what's going to happen. And so I can't change that. I can't change the world in that way. But that's just the general trend that's going to happen. And I'll tell you this, Dax is going to lose his Patreon. He's going to lose his $20,000 a month. New Project 2 is going to go kaput. He's going to lose that money. And I'm telling you, he might get that money back through an alternative source, but he'll never get the full amount back again of this near $30,000 a month that he was making. You know, he's in serious trouble. All of them are. All of them eventually are going to be swept away. And then Anita will actually have truly won, and the SUWs will have won. But it's happening. It's happening, and you can see it. If you're smart, you can foresee the direction that things are going in anyway. But these people are grifters. They're borderline criminal, if not criminal. They collude, they conspire, they try and sweep it up. There's so much evidence against them at this point. It's so overwhelming and so compelling that you can no longer deny reality. And people are waking up to it, and they're sick and tired of the fucking bullshit. And they're just going to wipe you fuckers out. And I don't have to do a goddamn thing. I don't have to make any of these videos. I haven't had to make any videos for like a week. The events have already been set into motion by what I've done and what others have done. And by their own activity. Really, it's been their own activity that's fucked them, because other people saw the cover-up. Other people saw how hard they were defending and shielding each other. And then they were exposed. And if I didn't do it, somebody else would have done it. But when it's me against Dax, you really see the Emperor has no clothes, because he has fucking nothing. He's a terrible comedian. He's a bad entertainer. His podcast sucks. He doesn't stand for free speech. And he's a scumbag piece of shit, and most likely a criminal that commits financial fraud. He doesn't live in a mansion. He's not a Hollywood star. His highest accomplishments are a Pizza Hut commercial and a Dr. Phil sketch. And that's just reality. That's just reality. People like Dame Pesos, people mention Dame in chat. Dame is just a human fucking soundboard and a Mundane Matt clip machine. He owes his whole life to Mundane Matt and Cenk Uygur. And if you owe your whole life and your whole career and your whole artistic integrity to those two pieces of shit, then you yourself are just a loathsome, scummy leech that leeches off filthy shit. You are the lowest form of life. You are sad and pathetic and a grifter, and you should be ashamed. But that's just reality. You know, that's not me fucking trying to bullshit you. That's just exactly what he is. And it's just the reality. When Dax gets into this deep water with people like Vordrak, people like Zoom, people like Dispatch, you know, the people on Cow or the Kiwi Farms, and he tries to battle them, he gets blown out over and over and over and over again. And at this point, he's totally fucked, and more awful things are going to happen to him. I don't wish awful things upon him. I wish that he would stop trying to influence things and turn everybody into his gay sycophants and try and flag people off the internet that criticize him. But, you know, I don't wish him ill will, but he's fucking himself. It's not my fault. I wash my hands of his blood. You know, it's other people that are taking care of this guy. I have nothing to do with New Project Two's bank being taken down. I didn't brigade it. I didn't call them. I'm not responsible for it. Is Vordrak? I don't know. He says he is. Who knows? But at the end of the day, there are some people that are influential that are ruthless and they're coming for him and he doesn't know what to do. And I feel sad for him. I feel sad for him. Crucify him.